Josie had done this track a dozen times, 3 days. One hut halfway, out the other side by lunch on day 3. She didn't need the map anymore. That was the problem. The fog came down on the second afternoon, thick and sudden, the way it does on the ranges. 1 minute the bushline is sharp against the sky. The next she can't see her own boots. She should have stopped. Instead she kept walking because she knew this track. Because the hut was only 40 minutes ahead. Because turning back felt like admitting she was the kind of tramper who got scared of weather. That was when she heard it, a flute, thin and sweet, somewhere off to her left where the track didn't go. She stood still, waited for it to be a bird, a trick of wind through a gap in the rocks. It came again, closer, clearer, notes that curled and repeated in a shape no bird's throat could make. At the hut the night before, an old fella refilling his water bottle had told her, half joking, not to answer if she heard music in the mist up this way. Patupaiarehe, he'd said, fairy folk don't like the smell of cooking, don't like steam. If you hear the flute, boil your billy and don't move till it's done. She'd laughed. Everyone laughs at hut warnings. You collect them like stamps and forget them by the next morning. She wasn't laughing now. The flute moved not toward her, around her, like it was pacing a slow circle just past the edge of what she could see. Her legs took 2 steps off the marked track before she caught herself and stopped, heart going hard. The track poles she trusted, the little orange triangles nailed to trees every 100 meters, had vanished. She turned in a full circle. No poles, no path, just white and wet ferns and that same sweet, patient music, always slightly behind her, no matter which way she faced. She thought about running and made herself not running. Is what you do when you still believe there's a direction that's safe. She didn't know that anymore. The billy her hands were shaking too hard to get the gas canister threaded on the first try. The flute stopped the moment she heard the hiss of gas catch flame, and in the silence that followed she heard something else. Soft footsteps circling closer through wet fern, unhurried, the way a cat approaches something it isn't afraid of yet. She fed the flame everything dry she had. The water in the billy started to move, small silver threads climbing the sides. Steam began to lift off it, thin at first, then a proper curling column in the cold air. The footsteps stopped. For a long moment there was nothing. No flute, no steps, no wind even, like the whole fog had gone still to watch her. Then, from somewhere very close, she heard breath, not words, just breath, drawn in slow through a nose that wasn't quite shaped like a human one. And the smell of wet moss gone suddenly, sharply cold. The water reached a rolling boil. Steam poured off it in a thick white column, and where it met the fog around her, the fog seemed to flinch, peeling back from the steam like it was something solid pressing it away. In that peeled back gap, for less than a second, Josie saw a shape, pale, too tall, standing exactly where the flute had last sounded, watching her with eyes that didn't blink. Then the steam thickened and the shape was gone, and so was the fog around her feet, pushed back just far enough that she could see 3 meters of muddy ground and, impossibly, one weathered orange track marker nailed to a tree. She didn't turn off the gas. She picked up the whole roaring stove, billy and all, boiling water sloshing dangerously close to her hand, and she walked, steam trailing off the pot like a torch. Every time the fog tried to close back in around her, she lifted the billy higher and it thinned again, just enough. She walked like that for 40 minutes, arm burning, water long gone cold, but the stove still lit, until the hut's tin roof came up gray out of the white. She didn't stop shaking until she was inside with the door shut. The old fellow wasn't there that night. She asked the warden about him the next morning. An older man, grey beard, filling his bottle at the tank 2 nights back. The warden looked at her for a moment too long, said no one matching that had signed the hut book in over a week. She checked it herself. He was right.